And now we move into the no surrender part of the show where I talk about the matches and what went down and everything. And of course, the Bound for Glory series has come to an end. And now that we have the new number one contender who will be facing Austin Aries for the next pay-per-view, and that is going to be going in for the WrestleMania of TNA, and that's right, for Bound for Glory. And overall, I thought it was really well put together, and I enjoyed this series from beginning to end, and we saw some good matches out of it, and a lot of people just showing the heart and showing everything that they can do just to be World Champion and face Austin Aries at Bound for Glory, which will be coming at you next month on pay-per-view. And we start things off with the first match of the night, and it was a good match here, and we had Jeff Hardy taking on Samoa Joe, and these two really went at it the best they could here to have this be the first match and have this be for the semifinals and moving on into Bound for Glory. And with this, we had Jeff Hardy defeating Samoa Joe, which I was happy with that. It could have really went either way with me, but you know, at the end of the day, I still enjoyed this match in a nice way to start things off there. Then for the second match, we had another Bound for Glory series semifinal match, and this one we had Bully Ray and James Storm. Another good match I really enjoyed here, and this one was pretty intense between these two. We saw both referees being laid out, which I kind of expected that to happen, with at least the other referee being knocked out again, and then the referees getting in the way in this match. And overall, we have Bobby Roode returning here and attacking James Storm and helping, that's right, Bully Ray get the win and going into the finals. And it looks like we might have Bobby Roode against James Storm going into Bound for Glory for just a regular singles match. And nothing to really complain about there. I love Bobby Roode and what he's doing as a heel right now. And that match, if it does happen for Bobby Roode and James Storm, that's going to be one hell of a match to see, and I cannot wait for that. Then from there, we move on to the Knockouts Championship match. We got Brooke Tessmacher taking on Tara, two great friends going at it, and a rematch from Impact not too long ago. And with this was a pretty good match. We had Tiffany coming back as a special guest referee, and Brooke Tessmacher actually getting the win here and retaining her Knockouts Championship and taking out Tara there. So that was pretty cool, and I'm not too sure if we're going to be having a rematch at Bound for Glory for the Knockouts Championship, and if this thing is going to be even continuing or not with the feud between Brooke and Tara, but you know, it doesn't really matter overall. I thought the match was pretty good. Then from there, we had Austin Aries going up against one of the guys from the Aces and Eights, and this was just a straight up brawl, non-title match, and there was even no referee, and Austin Aries is just looking to get his payback, but that didn't exactly go too well as planned. We were almost so close getting to have the reveal of the main leader of the Aces and Eights, but that wasn't to be for the night, and the rest of the TNA roster coming back out, and the rest of the Aces and the Eights, and they started brawling, and we didn't exactly just see how this time to see who is going to be revealed for the Aces and Eights group. So TNA is still keeping this quiet for the time being until we find the actual revealing of this. And now that that has been over, Jeff Hardy also has been attacked from that and somewhat in jeopardy of his match for the main event for the Bound for Glory Series final. Then from there, right after that, we had the X Division Championship on the line, Sanjay Dutt and Zema Iron, which I thought was a great match, and I actually wouldn't have minded if Sanjay Dutt got the win here, but that wasn't the case. We saw the Gory Bomb special here, and the page out of Chavo Guerrero's book, and that's merely his finisher, and we have Zema Iron retaining the X Division Championship and moving on into better things from there. So, you know, not really the greatest of, you know, fans, if you will, of Zema. I'm not really a fan, so I don't really care that much of the guy, but with that match, I gotta give it to both of them, and both did pull off a good match, so that's all I gotta say about that. Then from there, this was just a regular singles match. We had Magnus taking on Rob Van Dam here, and Rob Van Dam recently got out of the Bound for Glory series, and with this one was Rob Van Dam getting the win, and was able to defeat Magnus here, and I was happy overall on what went down there, so no complaints out of me for this matchup between Marvin, Dan, and Magnus. And Magnus is one of those guys that I feel is one of my favorites as of right now, and I like what he's doing, and hopefully we'll get to see more out of Magnus going into the next pay-per-view and everything, and eventually way down in the future, not exactly right now, maybe Magnus will be a main event player type of guy. I wouldn't be against that, so I think that would be really cool. And then to me, what was honestly, I thought anyway, the main event of the pay-per-view, we had the TNA Tag Team Championships on the line. We got Kurt Angle and AJ Styles taking on Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, the champions, going into the pay-per-view. And I found out recently that Kurt Angle was injured just a little bit, which I believe he was injured on his leg there, and showing that he's still going to go with this match and hopefully become TNA Tag Team Champions with AJ Styles. I really love the work between these two teams, and I really would, hopefully if we can get this happen, I would not mind if we get a rematch out of this, because I think it was that damn good, and I would like a few going into Buffalo Glory series, not Buffalo Glory series, but the actual pay-per-view, and have a series of matches going into this, and have a feud, which is better set put for that. And overall, we didn't have Kurt Angle and AJ Styles get the win. We had the champions retaining here, and I thought at one point Kurt Angle and AJ Styles were going to get it, but just a lot of new falls, and we see a lot of finishers going into play with this one. And Christopher Daniels was able to get the martini drink and hit it on, I believe, AJ Styles. At the time he was going for the Styles Clash, but that didn't connect, and Christopher Daniels and Kazarian were able to get the win there, and no complaints whatsoever with that. And then we get into what was supposed to be the main event, and it actually was able to happen. And I thought Bully Ray was just going to come out and just actually win by forfeit here and move on to face Austin Aries for the main event at Bound for Glory. But Jeff Hardy coming back and was able to have this match happen with injury and all, and Hulk Hogan was actually going to have this match for TNA later on, and probably the go-home show for Buffalo Glory, I guess, but who knows when that match was going to be happening, but it was able to still happen on the pay-per-view, and it ended up being a good match. It was mainly all Bully Ray for the start, and then Jeff Hardy came back, a lot of near falls and finishers here, and Bully Ray came so close, and he was so sure and positive, and he wanted this win, but he didn't get it, and in the end, Jeff Hardy was able to have this win happen and move on into Bound for Glory and have this series end, and that's how we ended there with the pay-per-view. And I can't really complain about that either. Jeff Hardy has been through a lot lately, especially with his whole drug issues and gaining the respect out of the fans and everything, and now we're going to see a really sick match, I think, with Jeff Hardy and Austin Aries if Bully Ray doesn't try and come back in this and maybe make it a triple threat. There's also that possibility, so you never know what will be happening. Will it happen? It could, but only time will tell. As of right now, we have a new number one contender, and that is Jeff Hardy. So overall, good pay-per-view for No Surrender, and this is my first ever live podcast doing this, so hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I try to make it the best I can here and do my best, and hopefully I will be doing more podcasts, probably not as weekly as I would want to, and I'll be trying my best to get some guests on here and just make it one fun interactive show. It's going to be fun. So for all those first time listeners, I thank you for coming on in and listening to this podcast, and you will be getting more. I will be doing a Night of Champions prediction show and review, and do predictions, reviews, talking about other things going in the world of wrestling. I've been a fan since 2000 and 2001, and that's where my fandom for wrestling all began. And I just love everything about it and how it can be unpredictable at times. And it's just a really fun show that I just love talking about. And I also love tweeting with you guys, so you guys can go follow me on Twitter at DaveRivera1989, and go subscribe to my channel on YouTube, which will be Fort Minor Project. For those of you who are new to my channel and hearing it for the very first time, go over there, check it out, give it a chance, and let me know what you guys think. And I will be uploading the excerpt as well too for my also pay-per-view review here as well, so that will be also up there. And until then, hopefully you guys enjoyed this first podcast, and I know I may sound a little bit rusty, but I will get better, and hopefully you guys will stick through me, and hopefully you will have a great rest of the weekend, have a great rest of the day, and of course, as always, I will talk to you guys next time. See you guys.